It's time now to check in with our new chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi.
Yes, indeed. Doctor, one of the big stories, of course, this week, the new genetic test for women with breast cancer. I guess men can get breast cancer too, though.
Yeah, and it's important. You know, anything we can do to really change this disease is wonderful. You know, it's changing in ways that millions of women are being screened. It's a fraction of the cost compared to other conventional tests, and that's what makes it affordable for low-income women. I have a closer look at what this test actually does. It was actress Angelina Jolie who took genetic testing to determine she was at high risk for breast cancer. But not everyone can afford a $4,000 test. Color Genomics is the company behind this little box priced at $249. The company uses high-speed computation of genetic data to tell women if they're at risk for breast and ovarian cancer.
Clearly, that adds to accessibility, and insurance companies will want to look at that.
The test analyzes 19 genes, including the much-talked-about BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. The sample is then mailed back to Color Genomics to be analyzed. The watchdog organization Breast Cancer Action believes not all testing is necessarily good testing and points to flaws in previous direct-to-consumer genetic testing.
What the Government Accountability Office found is they could send the same spit samples from the same people to different labs and get different results.
Still, doctors think the information gathered will be valuable for future research.
The hope is that by logging variants and having that information available, that we get a better understanding of which genetic abnormalities actually cause cancer.
You know, and the idea, Glenda and Carolyn, is that how do we get more women to get this test, because insurance often doesn't cover genetic tests. It's important to tell our viewers is that it should be ordered by a doctor, but you know, having family members that have had breast cancer, yes, it's often very expensive if the insurance doesn't cover it. So the idea is that, are we taking a step so more women can afford this, even if without insurance?
You gotta hope so. You gotta hope it's gonna be cheaper.
Absolutely. And the support is there for research. We see the walks, we see all the support there, so we hope that this will help.
Yeah, it seems like it's an epidemic, so absolutely.
All right, so Dr. Nandi, we're talking about homeopathic medicine. Some of it under scrutiny by the FDA. Can you talk about that?
It's big business,
okay,
you know, about $3 billion a year. My patients come to me all the time and talk to me about that. So the Food and Drug Administration just wrapped up a big hearing on this. And some experts who testified blasted products like Cold-EEZE and Zicam and other alternative remedies. They're protected by federal law, but not always accepted by mainstream medicine. The FDA does not review the safety or effectiveness of homeopathic remedies before they're sold, but unlike supplements, homeopathic medicines can state that they're intended for specific medical symptoms and conditions. Since 2009, the FDA has issued 40 warning letters to homeopathic product makers. And last month, the agency warned U.S. patients with asthma not to rely on homeopathic products, claiming that they treat the respiratory condition. So, you know, we're worried that, are we going too far with this? But the other fact is that a third of American patients are using it.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that the FDA is really talking about it is huge. You know, the problem is that we have this closed environment. The homeopathic people say, you know what, this is right, and the people that are against it are not talking. So hopefully this is a conversation that we can have. You know.
Yeah. And I'm sure the best advice is just to talk to your doctor. But before we run out of time, Dr. Nandi, let's talk about bird flu really quickly, because a lot of people are afraid about it. Do you think it's coming to Michigan? Because I know right now it's just on egg farms.
Yeah, it's a very important point. You know, it's in Midwestern states, Wisconsin, Iowa, if you've been following the news, have had it. So definitely it can come, but they're doing everything in their power, euthanizing those animals that have the bird flu so they don't come to Michigan.
And they're in direct contact. These are people in direct contact with the animals, you said.
Yeah, you know, the thing is that we talk about is, our people are worried, am I going to get the bird flu? Because they say, well, does it mean that if I have chicken, am I going to get it? The key is that unless you're handling these animals, it's very difficult for you to get it. And when people do get it, it doesn't spread from person to person very easily. So stay tuned, but you know, the public officials are doing everything in their power to stop this disease in their track.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nandi.
Dr. Nandi. Remember, as always, we want to hear your health questions, so make sure you email Dr. Nandi at wxyz.com. And Dr. Nandi will, of course, be on our station Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you got to make sure you check him out right here.
Yeah.